Hi there, it's Jenny from Ginger Ninja Crafts, and I am about to make a peekaboo card for the Daring Cardmakers challenge. If you're not sure what a peekaboo card is, it is a card which looks like this, where you're peekaboo. And I thought I would make it on video so that I can link it up to my blog post, and if people want to follow along, I think it's easier to watch a video than to follow written instructions. For me anyway, I find it easier. So I've got the measurements for your pieces here, and I'm going to show you making my card. So you need to cut 3 pieces of card for your base, and I'm going to use some craft card for that. So the front piece is going to be 4 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches. So there's 8. I usually work in centimetres, but every tutorial I could find for these cards was in inches, so I just gave in eventually and thought it's fine, I can work in inches. So that's going to be the front piece. Then I'm going to do one which is the inside, and that is going to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. These cards have been around for ages. I've looked at various tutorials and inspiration on Etsy, and I think the measurements that I've taken are from Jennifer Maguire video, so I can link that below if people want to see it. So pop these out of the way. So this is the front, which is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. The inside is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And the back is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I'm going to score them. So the one that is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, I'm going to score that at 2 3/4. There we go. And then this one gets scored at 4 1/4, the longest. So that's kind of halfway for it. That's the inside. And then the back, you score it at 5 1/2. So you would just get this really little edge at the end. There we go. So I'm going to score all these bits, or rather burnish them now I've scored them. So that's the back. This is the inside. I never find that scoreboard does a very good job. But anyway, I think I need to get a different scoreboard, make it work. Here we go. So now what I also want to do is put some pattern paper on. You don't have to, but I would like to. And I've got this paper pad here, Vintage Colours Romance from Craft Sensations, and I want to use this kind of checky bit, and I've got another piece think I'm going to need that too. So I want a piece for this front, so I think, let's check, I think I'll probably, so 5 1/4 by 4 maybe. And a 1/4, and then for the inside I think it's going to be 4 by 4. So I'm gonna pop these on here, and I'm just using the tacky glue from Tonic. Here we go. Stick this in place. Give a little border. And now once we've got this bit done, then we need to cut our windows for our little peekaboo elements to show through. So this on here. Fantastic. So I'm going to do a little oval window, and I'm going to pop it on there. Yeah, so you want to make sure that this back flap, when it's folded over, is still, it's got space. So I'm going to just off camera run this through my cutting machine. Okay. Oh, I think I knocked you there. So that's the front of my card, got its window. Now this is going to be the inside section, and we want the windows to line up perfectly. So I need a pencil. So just line this up like so and draw around, and then what Jennifer McGuire did was she lined that up, then popped the die on top, that down. That should be perfectly in line. So I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine again. craft card is kind of 4 layers, so it's quite a lot to expect it to have cut right the way through. So let's see how we've got. Yeah, didn't do this one, but that's okay. We've got a nice line there to line it up. So it's just one more time. There we go. So we've now got three windows that should all line up perfectly like that. So we'll start to put together the card base. So the first step is to stick the inside of the card onto the back, and for that I'm going to use some of this very skinny red liner tape. Can do it with wet glue, but I'm going to go with this tape. Okay, so I've just popped it along this very skinny little fold. Take the backing off. If I can. Oh goodness. Ah, there we go. Got it. So take this off, and then I'm going to pop it onto the back of the inside. So I just need to line that up. Like so. That's the first stage. Now we want to stick this side onto the front. So for that I'm going to use wet glue, and I'm just going to go all the way around the edge. In there, and I'm going to just line that up, so that looks pretty good. So what you see, to make the mechanism, you want this little the end of the front cover to go in like so. So when you open, it peeks through like that. So I did a little bit of die cutting and preparation beforehand. So I cut 3 little gold frames to go onto each of the windows. So for that I just took the die, the little oval from the window, and it came with a nesting set, so just the next one up, and I just cut that 3 times. So I will just glue those on. Line it up. Nice. And then on the other side. There we go. dear, somebody's crying outside. I've got the window open because it's pretty hot today. There we go. So there we are. So that's the kind of basic structure of the card. Now, I've already done a little bit of stamping, and I've gone with this set here, which is by Tailored Expressions, If Cats Could Talk, and it comes with the cat with various different facial expressions and quite a lot of different cat sentiments. So I want to have the first image that you see to be this cat. So I've stamped him out, I gave him a happy face, coloured him in with my tri-blend markers by Spectrum Noir. I used the little die that came with it to cut him out, and I'm going to pop him on some got a couple of choices. I could have this kind of pinky one, or some polka dots. I think I prefer the first one. So I just need to cut a panel that's going to fit. So I want it to be bigger than the window. And this is going to go right at the back here, like so. So I'm going to glue that in there, and just double check as I do it. Yeah, that looks okay. So I'm going to pop that wee cat in there, and I also cut a little sentiment to go on the front, and I thought I could add a little bit of cat patterned paper. So this came with Making Cards and Papercraft magazine, oh, a long time ago, and I've been hoarding it. I think I might use a little bit of that. So I'm going to trim this and then mat and layer. So this stamp comes from a different stamp set actually. It's from this Tracy Hay stamp set called Catitude. The cats are all a bit big for what I was going to do, so I've just gone for one of the sentiments. And I just want to layer that up. I might pop it on a bit of the gold. I can use a bit of the offcut here. Maybe a layer of the gold and then a layer of the craft card maybe. So I'm just going to cut that by eye. Oops. And be a little bit of this with craft card too. that's enough. Maybe I'll have a little strip of the black and white cats. I'll cut a little thin layer. I also did some little paw print. Go, pop this along here. Okay. Oh, my cat's escaped. Forgot I hadn't glued him down. So I'm going to pop some wet glue on the back. Just pop them in. That's the good bit about wet glue. You get a little bit of time to position. So I think maybe another layer is needed on this. I'm gonna give him another layer of the gold. Just pop him in. Go. So what's new, pussycat? Perfect. And then I want to add this piece. So I need to cut another section to stick in, and again I'm going to pop some glue on. And you can see I'm going to pop it in here. And that's it. Perfect. Now, for this one, I want the cat to have done a bit of a runner, and so I'm going to stick a little another one of the stamps that are there. There is a spider, and then I think I'll do that. stamp this little sentiment in the same. Okay, so it says, "What's new, pussycat?" And then when you open, it says "Scaredy cat." Now it's slightly sticking. So what, I think it was Jennifer McGuire in her video, she suggested adding a little bit of clear tape over the edge of the image that you see when you, before you open the card, that helps it just to glide over. So let's see if that helps. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I just want to add a few little extra bits of detail to it, and I should have done this before, but I forgot. So when I actually won this stamp set in a blog hop, and when I won it, I also won this die. It came with it as a little extra, and it says "surprise." So I want to just cut that out too, because that seems quite appropriate for a peekaboo card. So I'll just die cut that very quickly. So you can see this looks a bit better, and I'm not sure if the black is a bit harsh. Might be. Maybe I will do it on a gold as well and do a sort of drop shadow. Just make sure I don't lose the exclamation point there. So I presume this die is also from Tailored Expressions. Because I think they sponsored the giveaway. Okay. So I'm never sure whether I want to have the black on top or behind. Yeah, I think I'll do the gold on top. Cool. Like so. Okay, now need the little dot for the eye and the exclamation mark. It's a bit fiddly, but there we go. Just add the gold on the top. Okay, so there's surprise. Now, the other thing that I've already cut was a few of these. Maybe I'll pop them like so. I think these little paw prints might have been from Tattered Lace. I've had them for a really long time, and they're slightly fiddly because, but they're quite nice to paper piece. So what's new, Pussycat? Scaredy cat surprise. I'm just wondering whether I might give that little spider some beady eyes. So I've got this Nuvo Jewel Drops. They kind of dry quite translucent, but they're in key lime, so maybe I will just give him, oh look at that, little green eyes. There you go. So now I'll need to leave that open to dry. I hope all that made sense. I will leave, this is the measurements, and I'll add that in the description, and I hope that you enjoyed my video. Thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please feel free to leave me a comment or a like, and if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, then you'll find the link below, so you can just click and join. It's free, and you'll be able to see all my videos that I make.